stick tight, click, and went all out. I grew up on the crime side. Survival got me. Survival got me. Survival got me bugging. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Focus on the pain.
Fortunately, some members of the media.
My people's come from
personal bias to push their own personal bias and agenda. This is very dangerous to our democracy.
I was in the dark too long, staying up all night. I'm blowing up.
But God only allowed what he knew you could survive and what he could
This is the end.
So I got some videos to show you. You got to check these out. Like, this is like real important stuff. I had to come back to South Philly. It's where it's all going down now. It's where it's going down now. Hear that, Cater?
Ancient soldiers, Moors, third rock from the sun, saints, tuning in from the third rock from the sun, indigenous, who we are, we here, been here, day one, came a long way. Yeah, across the desert, I made it, some water there, kings, we here, peace, more.
Incoming call from St. John Dynasty Recovery Lifestyle. Call connected.
I don't know if I can take it.
Previous January 18th with some serious add-ons. This disclosure of hidden information can be shown and found at the link below. Okay, and I provide the link so you can do your own research and come to your own conclusions based upon what I put here. This is in memory of a great man who taught me to enjoy the differences of cultures and beliefs, my Uncle Joe. He showed me many times who I truly was and what life really meant. To know and share real truth. Thanks to Joe, all that I do today I dedicate to his memory. He made love of the all is seem cool and necessary. Rock on at whatever part of creation you are at today, Uncle Joe. Rock on, bro. So my brother's over there now too, so now I got both of them working on the other side. But it says please click the link and learn the science that they have known all along. Drug epidemic is a real problem, but before it was any of that, this is what we should be looking at. The fact that it was an engineered attack on humanity. Carefully developed and implemented against our society to eliminate a portion of our population and control a larger portion. A very successful plan from the very beginning through genetic manipulation from vaccinations. Our DRD4 receptor and opioid mu receptor has been altered so that pleasure seeking and reward dopamine releases are, let's see, so I'm real good at show. Like I don't want it to be known. I don't want it to be easy. Nothing easy about any of this. All right. So it says, carefully developed and implemented in our society to eliminate a portion of the population and control a larger portion. A very successful plan from the very beginning through genetic manipulation from vaccinations. Our DRD4 receptor an opioid mu receptor has been altered so that pleasure seeking and reward dopamine releases are, I would like to say that says damaged and weakened, and then a dynamic of demand and craving occurs. This is a biological level. We have been bombarded with ultra effective propaganda to increase our awareness and initiate the onset of this craving. This isn't something that occurred with all members of the population. Look how ultra developed across the board, and definitely caused from vaccination. Then there, then there's the whole import-export business of the CIA and their black ops programs. Create and keep our military strategically around the globe to control the flow of the narcotics, among other things. Okay, everything from human trafficking to the rape and pillage of whole resources of many countries all around the world. Okay, then you have the criminal justice system and the penal system and the drug system, the drug treatment industry and the mental health industries, all this ongoing. And I don't think many of us stood a chance. We didn't have a choice. We never had a choice until we cognitively train ourselves to have a choice. Now, just take a really good look at the economics surrounding addictions and all this stuff. So it's a cognitive choice that we have to make that comes from our intentions, which comes from the governor, our heart. So like when we have good intentions, and I say this all the time, it's like a broken record for me. This is my only real significant quote in this world. One's intentions are the foundation of one's reality. If one has good intentions, one will have a good reality. However, if one has bad intentions, one will definitely have a bad reality. So, like I said, we didn't have a chance. We never had a chance until we cognitively disassociated ourselves from the system and all of its brainwashing propaganda flooding your brain with bullshit day in and day out. You think they want to stop any of it? That's naive. Here's the link, and I put the link in there, and I'll put the link here. I want to make sure you get to it because it's kind of important. That's the link. So, this is everybody I know in my age group, my generations, all around my generation. Of course, everyone prior to my generation, early, later generations, the most recent.
Misnomer. We are the fucking light. The people who are truly enlightened are the Illuminati of the world. We are the fucking light.
But you got to go light with it. You got to go light with it, man. Like bringing in it's like this element of something where kids are gonna want to be like, what is this? What are they doing to us? But get the kids to do more too, because once they start doing more, it's gonna be like a fucking wildfire. They're not gonna be able to stop what comes in.
This is a PSA. You can't believe anything you see these days. These glasses aren't even real. Neither is my face. All this stuff was 3D tracked on these dots that I drew on with this marker. Actually, the marker isn't real either. Neither is the background. Or my face. Have a good night.
You stay in Wonderland.
Righteous, since casino says funky. How was I?
Is where you go to view the creation of 3. Yeah, so I do want to talk for 1 minute about my website. It's thelostprinciple.com. That's P-L-E, the correct spelling of the word principle as it's applied in this situation. So we have episode 1 labeled what on earth is happening in total respect in regard to Mark Passio with his natural law implementation and plan to get that message out. So that's where that came from. Episode 2, it's, you know, me explaining, well, episode 1 has in it just, you know, basically a general introduction of who I am and what I do. Episode 2 talks about more along the lines of how I do that. Episode 3 is Hermes Bag in the Uber. It's one of my most popular episodes. It basically talks about how I've come to the conclusions I've come to in my life in regards to natural law, applying the principle of care, and just being, you know, a generally decent individual. Episode 4 is a little different too. Episode 4 is the Declaration of Independence for all of humanity episode. It's the Free You Now celebration that went on last July. Now episode 5 is a little bit different too. We're talking more about world affairs in that episode. But, you know, like on here I have a nice little post about, you know, like what I represent and what, you know, like some of my beliefs and how I got there. You know, then I have some of my special projects on the site that you can check into. Domestic Terrorist is my latest. That was aired March 3rd, 2022. I did a tarot card reading on New Year's Day at Daytona Beach. And the cards that I flipped were amazing. Like, they were so spot on with where we're at, the situations in play around that, and then like where we're trying to go as a species. So that's really good, guys. I suggest you just click on any of that and you can get to that. And then we've got Mad World, which is episode 1 of the Dynasty Recovery Lifestyle. It's back when we were running housing. Okay, we also have Organized Chaos, right, where we introduced Angel, the limousine, with the different contests that we used to have going on for that. Real good episode. And then we talk a little bit about Divine Feminine with the principle of gender when it comes to Mary Magdalene. And she's been doing a lot of great work. We're going to plug her. We're going to put some of her stuff up. We're going to interview with her in the expression of how to bring this message of controlled desire, application of proper intention with the principle of care, and natural law, you know, like at its finest, you know, like how we get there, guys. So I hope you guys will stay tuned and join us for this journey. It's going to be pretty fantastic.
Answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer.
Just get your mind together, then come on across.
Will be a guest on our show once we have some shows. Once we have this, all the bugs worked out.
This is one of the guys I watch. You're going to get the gist of this real quick.
Had this feeling
if you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
I'm not being facetious. Democrats and Republicans. I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that television and say nothing happened on the 6th. But some of the stuff, I mean, QAnon, the idea that the Democrats or the Biden is hiding people and sucking the blood of children and hiding people and sucking the blood of children and no, I'm serious.
This is a call for an uprising.
Ultimately, this is the force they worship. It's not this Christian variant of the devil. They don't look at as an anthropomorphized, the force that they are ultimately putting up on a pedestal is not an anthropomorphized deity that we have traditionally symbolized as Satan in the Christian tradition. You have to understand that is not what these people who are at the top of the globalist elite society worship. They worship death. One of the only names that their society has ever been called. I call it the cult without a name. It's not called the Illuminati, folks. You know, I keep trying to poo-poo that name and tell people it's a horrific misnomer to call them the Illuminati. The people who are truly enlightened are the Illuminati of the world. We are the fucking light bringers, okay? We are...
Is one of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle, fountain of youth, and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'll do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human...
Look, the wrinkles have just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
You done sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hand. What you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
This your last time on the show. This your last time. Not coming up in here. You're sitting up in here. You tell Oprah this what's on her face?
She knows.
She knows.
She knows. There were a couple protesters about it because they are cells from baby foreskin.
Oh, baby foreskin.
That makes it better. What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. That's what it is.
No, okay. I don't think. It's not like I'm lying. There were little pieces all over my face. It's like,
who thinks of collecting it and having it for? We'll do something with this.
And
someday.
why didn't we come up with that?
Right.
Yeah. And so we call it I call it the penis facial. And I think when you see how good it is to your face, you too will run to your local facialist and say, "Give me the penis."
You both look the same age there. I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
Okay,
Just joking, Hollywood world.
All things are made new. That makes us saints.
I was in the dark too long, staying up all night battling my inner thoughts. Couldn't take it, so I had to give it up to God. Can't complain, my life's been changed, man. Who would've thought? Who would've thought? I was in the dark too long, staying up all night battling my inner thoughts. Couldn't take it, so I had to give it up to God. Can't complain, my life, give it up to God. Can't complain, my life's been changed, man. Who idolized, never stop the grind, leave no man behind. Turn the tables, leaving demons paralyzed. We go to war, kick down the door. We go to war. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I am a saint. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I am a saint. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I am a saint. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I am a saint. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I am a saint. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. I keep on fighting till the trumpet sound. Trumpet sound. Trumpet sound. I am a saint. I am a saint.
I am Mr. Rock. How you doing, Mr. Rock?
Okay. We're going to start off today with a mental status exam, and let's see where we're at, and then we can move into a little bit of an intake interview. We'll get a couple of things out together. Okay. John, you know what today's date is?
Yeah, it's March 18th.
Okay, good.
2021.
Day after St. Patty's.
Yes.
All right. And do you know what season it is outside?
It's winter going into spring.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And can you tell me about the weather?
It's raining and it's chilly.
Yes. Okay. What city are we in, John?
The city of Philadelphia, brotherly love, bro.
All right. And welcome to my home. What floor of the building we're on?
We're on the first floor.
Okay. And what state are we currently?
That's me.
Okay, great. 5 for 5. All right, John, I want to say 3 words to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you in a few minutes to repeat them back to me. Rock. Sign. Flower. Okay, I'm going to ask you again to repeat them to me later. John, can you take the number 100 and subtract 9 from it, and continue to subtract 9 from it? Go ahead.
So it would be 193, 87. Wait, what am I subtracting? 9. All right, so it'd be 191, 82, 73, 64.
That's great, Jim.
Yes.
All right. John, you know how to spell the word world?
World. W-O-R-L-D.
Okay. Can you spell that word backwards for me?
D-L-R-O-W.
Great. And I already asked you about the weather. Those 3 words I asked you to remember and repeat. Can you do that for me?
Rock, sign, flower.
Great. Yeah, you're my mom. Okay. Hey, you did really well, John. John, I want to kind of move into a portion of the intake interview.
Okay.
Incoming call from St. John Dynasty Recovery Lifestyle. Call connected.
We're a non-profit. I provide service.
Yeah, I know. I provide service too.
So, workers' comp or Mike? What's your solid advice for the week for anybody that's listening?
My beans and bullets.
Beans and bullets. Beans and bullets. All right. So, what were you saying? Somebody said they couldn't click on the link or something for the show or whatever?
Yeah. So, let's say there was a problem with it or whatever, I would just go on there and comment it. Like I'd seen the whole thing. Oh, that was great, man.
That's the thing with online. You don't really know what you're, whether what you're watching is legit or not. It could just be all fantasy, but it could be real. It could be perceptions of reality. Who knows?
Hey, I'll tell you what, though.
Yeah. What about it?
I want cinnamon for
I don't know if there's cinnamon in there. All the spices are in the same spot.
That's why we texted and asked you for it. I know when you get it in time.
Yo, they're like trigger words to me. Like not MK Ultra trigger, but trigger words for my childhood, trauma in my childhood. I didn't really have no trauma, but
Hey, another
the little bit that did.
There's another seat open now in the Supreme Court.
It's cold out there. How you doing, neighbor?
Ask her how much.
Oh, you can't do that. She's a respectable family woman. She takes care of her children and everything. D. How much?
I got a clown mask with a big hole cut in the mouthpiece.
I'm checking that mailbox every day, waiting for this one to come from Amazon. That and urine tests. And dumbbells. I've been waiting for dumbbells for a month now.
Oh, shit, dude.
No, with the links, it's always their end, bro. It's always their end. I don't put it up if it ain't right. I mean, it might be crazy. It might not be understandable by most people, but the links are usually always good for me. If it's a link that I put up within the past year and a half, most likely it's still good. Unless it's like a repost to someone else's stuff. But my stuff will always be good, bro. I put this stuff up for eternity. Eternity. I'm going to stop cleaning up your messes, Paul. What are you going to do without me? Yeah, that's how I spent my night, cleaning up his mess. A lot of people don't understand what the principle of care is and what Dynasty Recovery Lifestyle is. But I'll tell you what it isn't. It isn't being a selfish son of a bitch.
Hey, John, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to see you again.
So, yeah, we met a few weeks back, and so you got the same hat.
Yeah. The hat's the same.
We're discussing a social substance use disorder.
Well, I filled out that survey.
Yeah.
Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, because I noticed something when when I would mention something with social media, it seemed to light up.
Yeah.
And discussing some other things, I kind of had the sense that you're pushing some things out of your life, although social media can be your coping mechanism. And I think it has, helped you cope with your substance use disorder.
Yes.
It may be turning into what we call behavioral addiction.
Behavioral addiction.
Yeah, and that can have some of the same ramifications of substance use disorder.
Yeah, I probably spend, 4 or 5 hours a day, probably being online, posting videos, reviewing posts, reviewing comments, responding back.
Mm-hmm.
It takes up quite a bit of my time. It's, all around my normal 9-to-5 job.
Which that could be 30, 40 hours a week.
It could be, yes. Almost like a full-time job.
All right, since you used the word JOB,
right?
Are you reaping any financial benefits from this?
No. I don't believe I suffer financially from it, and I don't believe there's no financial gain at all. Zero.
Oh, okay. So
it's not like a business that I'm running.
So it's like a volunteer.
It's like a voluntary type thing. Yeah. So it's charitable. Is what it is, on my part.
But you're not.
But my social
life that off.
Look. Here's the thing. My social life's been suffering, Rob. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I don't have the social life that I once had because I'm so immersed in the online life.
And that's funny because it's called social media.
Yes. Not that I think that there's nothing wrong with having a social life online, but I feel like it takes up a lot of my time. It may have, replaced in some aspects. It may have replaced, my substance use. I mean, I don't know how to view it.
Yeah, I think there's a disconnect there. I'm recalling a video that I've used in groups and by Mr. Johan Ari, where he talks about, when it really comes down to some crises in our life, it's not going to be our Facebook friends or our Twitter followers that are going to be there for us. It's going to be those real and nuanced relationships we have with people. Those face-to-face relationships. And how many of them do you have in your life? I think it's been lessening since you're.
Well, I have lots of contacts and friends, all around the world, but my actual interaction with them has become less and less.
Less face to face.
Yes, less face to face, so the relationships aren't as strong and as binding as they used to be. So I guess that's the best way to say it.
So yeah, I think this is something that we might have to think about an intervention. So how to deal with this before it gets out of control. If it's not already out of control.
Well, I mean, it developed because, you know, like I was running nonprofit recovery housing, and, you know, not terribly successful at it, but, you know, like when I shut down housing towards the tail end of it, I got involved with, you know, doing a lot of online stuff, and it just started to take off a little bit. You know, I have pretty decent viewership going on, and I really feel like it's like an outlet, like an opportunity for me to communicate to, you know, a lot of people, you know, like my message of recovery. You know, like I called it the Revelation of John show, and I think it kind of fills the gap of, you know, what recovery housing was doing for them. You know?
The Revelation of John, it sounds a little spiritual.
Oh, well, it is. It's very spiritual, but at the same time, you know, I'm a character on the show. I mean, obviously, you know, everybody has a niche. You know, like my niche is, you know, playing the role of someone that, you know, can bring the truth and the light to people with a loving, caring way. That's what I believe I do. Now, whether that's how it looks to others, you know.
All right, John. So what I'm seeing here is, you know, a good side and a bad side to this. Sure, you know, and yeah, so that might be where our intervention might lie. All right. You know, like in 12-step, I've always heard it said, you know, when we do an inventory, we take stock of, you know, what's good, what's not good, and what's got to go.
What's got to go,
Okay,
right?
So let's talk about the what's got to go.
What's got to go.
As far as the intervention, I would love to see you not get too engaged with this social media to the point where you're not addressing some of the stressors in your life. You're dealing with them in healthier ways and running from them. Because I think sometimes, you know, a lot of people, it becomes so automatic.
Right.
You know, anytime they get a free moment or that stressor, to grab that smartphone and, okay, I'm going to escape for a minute into social media. I don't want to see that happen. But when you talked about that revelation of John,
right.
I can also see this being a spiritual method for you. You certainly seem interested in helping people. You know, we talk about this volunteer position. You know, you're doing all these hours and not getting paid for them, and then you mentioned nonprofit housing.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, people do have to make a living.
Well, I make a pretty decent living. You know, we work in the industry, so, you know,
Okay,
like,
but yeah, and
you know, and it's about caring about others. You know, like I feel like I need to do more. You know?
So that's where I'm talking. That's the good part.
Yeah,
that's the good part where, you know, you'll have a positive outlet, and that could be a very good coping mechanism.
So what are you thinking then? I should get more like, hands-on with people?
Yes, that's what I'm talking. Use the social media to initiate, and then move towards, okay, let me go meet this person.
Face to face, right?
Maybe you don't have to get so worldwide with it.
Yeah, I actually call it boots on the ground. You know,
Yes.
like to actually be there, be present, and you know, and I think I need to do more. I need to do more, you know, volunteer and more activism in the streets, advocacy in the streets.
Well, it's good to, you know, I've done some work down on Kensington Avenue, as I know you have too.
Yes.
With, you know, in person.
There's a lot of stuff going down there, and it's really bad right now.
So our coping skill is going to be always keeping in mind face-to-face should come first.
Okay.
It should be the biggest part of your dealing with your substance use disorder, and now with this newfound behavioral issue.
Okay.
All right. So
Yes.
let's put an emphasis on that face-to-face contact, and I think that would keep us from getting too enmeshed in smartphone work. Right?
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming in, John. It was really great to see you again, and and I hope to do some more work with you. Thank you,
Rob. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Okay, great.
1 week later.
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, Ralph?
How you been?
I'm doing all right, man. It's good to see you again.
Yeah. It's our third talk, and I think we're really starting to make some progress.
Yes, we are.
And we talked about your substance use disorder, and we moved into a behavioral addiction. But the last time we spoke, John, I sensed you talked about that revelation of John.
Yes.
And
yes,
I really like that the spirituality of that. Although it could have been an addiction, social media, I thought it was a really healthy outlet. And we also talked about, funneling it towards, more in person.
Yes.
Which
being present in the moment.
Yeah.
Instead of having the phone in your hand all the time.
Yeah, I've worked some spirituality into my life, and and in 12-step fellowshipping, it's commonly said that this God of our understanding works through people.
Yes.
So I thought it was really good the way we were moving that possibility of a behavioral addiction. We were moving it towards a more personable, one-on-one, face-to-face type of situation with people. And I think that's going to be a great way for us to practice spirituality in the moment.
Yes.
But we also were briefly talking about meditation.
Yes, we did.
And can you tell me about how you meditate?
Well, I started the practice. It was recommended to me by a therapist years ago, and when I was away in state prison, I did a lot of research in the different types of philosophies and world religions. Everything from Buddhism to Nagaman, all that stuff, and even Christianity. There's states of meditation that go on. So I found this one guy who was really interesting. His name's Edgar Casey, and he was known as the sleeping prophet. Well, anyway, he would go into these trances, and people would ask him questions, and he would answer them, and it was coming over from the other side. But a lot of it was geared towards helping the individual, and I felt like that was good stuff. And he described the practice of meditation where you become one with the moment, and that sounds very familiar with a lot of other practices for meditation. So
is there a technique involved with
there's
this?
a technique. So you would you basically would 3 times around with the neck like this, and then counterclockwise 3 times, and then you turn your head sideways 3 times, up and down 3 times.
What's the significance of that number 3? Can you explore that?
I don't know. It's just a high spiritual number, like Trinity, Father, Son, Mother, and then the Immaculate Conception, all those things, like the divine, the Trinity, the Triune. So if you look into a lot of that stuff, it's pretty common, and I guess it's ingrained in us.
Yeah, well, in numerology, 3 is a significance to a lot of different kind of numbers.
Yeah. So 3 is the birth of creation. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what they say. So, so 3 times, and then through each nostril 3 times. And then, you go into, where your feet are flat on the ground, your hands on your thighs, and you drift. And the idea is to clear your thoughts, clear your mind, really get a sense and a feel of your body, the moment that you're in. And, it's funny that you're bringing it up, Rob, because, I have not really been doing it, lately. So, with the state of my life and the state of affairs in the world, I feel like my coping skills have, shifted more towards the social media, more towards, work,
distractions.
Yeah, a lot of the distractions, but, the inner healing of myself, the spiritual side of myself, to get in touch with me, to have that moment, that level of self-care that we always talk about, it's real important.
Yeah, I was, you mentioned being in state prison. I'm going to self-disclose here just a touch. I did 12. And then most people will say, "You did 12 years?"
Yeah.
And I just say 12 of the longest weeks of my life.
yeah.
I was out the county. I was in the county. It was just over a technicality, but I was able to take a anger management course there, which they felt I needed. I wasn't mad about it, but
That's great.
and it was a way to get off the block for a mintive. And
Yes.
but I learned a breathing technique. I'd love to share it with you if you allow me to.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm always open-minded to new ideas.
Now, I've read that it's always good to breathe with your stomach, you know, rather than your chest. It's more relaxing to up and down, you know, with your diaphragm. And it's always breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And after a few, then maybe breathe in and hold it for 5 seconds. And then breathe out and relax for 10 seconds.
So you're taking like my emotional state and you're calming it by restoring my body to its original
Calming
state.
it by strictly concentrating on your breathing.
Sure, I'd love to try this, Rob.
And as thoughts want to creep in, no, I'm just going to think about my breathing right now, and it gets you at one with your body.
Okay.
And then you can even continue on and relax muscles in each part of your body. And feel the energy coming in as you breathe in, and the energy flowing out of each part of your body as you breathe out.
Okay.
And it really gets you in touch with your physical state.
Great.
All right. And is that something?
Yeah, I'd
does
be
it
more
sound
than willing.
familiar to you? Or-
Absolutely.
You know, it sounds like you've been, you know, when you were with the nostrils, it sounded like you're doing something similar to that. Okay. And can we try it out?
Sure.
Okay, good. Go. There you go. See that stomach move. Don't have to hold that gut in, John. Just let it up and down. We're just going to push any other thoughts aside. Now, one added benefit here, John. You mentioned, we were talking earlier, you mentioned insomnia. If you ever want to go to sleep, do this lying down.
Don't drink coffee before I go to sleep.
Do this meditative technique lying down. That's why they always tell you when you meditate to sit up. Otherwise, you're going to fall asleep if you lay down. But I've used it often when I was struggling with sleep, and rather than take I'll take some melatonin or something like that. But I don't like to take
it's very similar to what I was practicing and what I try to I need to get back in touch with it, but like also to set an intention before I do it. I want to, So like to set an intention, like I want to be more helpful. I want to be more healthy. I feel as though I'm a good person in my heart. Help guide me.
Self-affirmation.
Yeah, some self-affirmations, exactly. Positive self-affirmations. I talk a lot about that with the groups that I run.
Then you're following that up with some goal setting.
Absolutely. Goal setting. And, just to be really in touch with the inner self. I think it's really important to me. And it's been extremely beneficial over the years. I just celebrated 6 years, man. And, I feel like I'm turning corners, like when it comes to the drug use and everything else. So, of course, today, being in recovery this long, it's not about a drug today. It's not about, an alcohol today. It's about the day-to-day life stuff, and like we get caught up in all the distractions, and like just to have that moment to meditate, I think it's really important to me. Thank you for reiterating this.
Yeah, so let me close this up by stating, and I always try to, and I would say that you might want to even mention this to clients you're working with.
Sure.
John, we're not bad people trying to get good. I think there's a goodness in all of us. And it's that mindfulness of yes, I am that self-affirmation, like I mentioned, that you are a good person.
Yes.
So rather than thinking of ourselves as bad people trying to get good, let's just always think of ourselves as, maybe sick people or maybe not so well people that are just trying to get a little more well.
Yes.
All right. And that's all we're trying to do is one day at a time to make some progress. Okay. Or move toward the goal that I mentioned earlier too. Great. All right. So I'd like to see you again, and I'd like you to maybe work on some of these techniques. Maybe you can come up with some more ideas of your own. Because, I want to learn too. Sure. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Thanks.
According to what one of the elders said, taking an enemy on the battlefield is like a hawk taking a bird. Even though it enters into the midst of 1,000 of them, gives no attention to any bird other than the one that it has first marked.
Strangers, keep on watching me. I see strangers, keep on watching me. Strangers, keep on watching me. I see those strangers.
So how do you get to heaven, Bob?
Hold up. I can't tell you that without telling you first who Bobby and Chuck are. Well, I'll start with Bobby, because Bobby's been like the main influence in my life for the past couple of years. So we'll start with him. Let me show you some of the stuff that I put together for him.
Simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer.
I'll step back for a minute and sit there and watch you see what type of person you are.
You can't hate and create at the same time. They're being fucking idiots. Everybody thinks they're entitled and think they're special. And shit like that. That shit wasn't true what your mama told you. You're special. You gotta go make yourself special. Identify your gifts and fucking run with it. This is perseverance. The only thing it is to me is it's a way and a means to create opportunity and freedom for the people that I come in contact with, my family, the people I care about. That's literally what it means. That's what the business. That's why I go so hard at it.
Working with Bob, like over the past couple of years, like I was running recovery housing. He employed people from the housing, worked on the housing, maintained the housing.
You have to be willing to sacrifice something you love for something, but to get something back.
You always doubled down on everything. You made a little profit for the business, and it wasn't about going out and buying a new car, or a system for your truck, or it was always about something like taking the money and buying better equipment, employing more people, doing advertising, just stuff that benefits the collective. But I see the value in his leadership. I see how he's able to strive ahead no matter what. Every different angle and aspect of it always came back to, pushing forward with the collective of what we're doing. The principle of perseverance is, it's not easily defined. In each person, it's going to be a different journey, but it starts with things like self-care. From the moment you wake up, what's your day look like?
Well, I stretch and everything, and then I do local reels with motivational videos, but it's relevant.
Yeah.
And also real.
Talking about Chuckalo. Those that are close to him know him as a fantastic tattoo artist, a great artist. Give him a canvas, it doesn't matter what canvas it is. I've seen him do some pretty amazing stuff. And then he specializes in concrete, so a lot of the concrete work that people have seen over, it's all been him. So, but yeah, so he's very free, he's very open spirited, and we have a right to that. We have a right to that. So here it is. This is our experience. Atlantic City. Hard Rock Cafe.
So how do you get to heaven, Bob?
Your sins are already paid away, Jesus. Either way, as long as you're not scumbag.
You have to accept. It's not just you accept Jesus or God, whatever your higher power. You don't just accept it. That's all you got to do.
You gotta fucking practice the principles.
Live
it. And fucking live that lifestyle to get it, be the best.
God made you to be the best you can be.
You know what? I just posted a video about a person that died for 5 minutes. And he said what he saw in hell was millions, hundreds of millions of fucking what you would consider churchgoers.
Right.
On fucking earth.
Right.
Just because you accept it and fucking hold the book up, you shit, don't mean shit.
You believe it's morning. I'm alive, but that's the last thing on my mind. You believe it's morning.
What's his face sets up all the time? Joshua Moonshine. Let's get it. I guess I should take the lens
You're actually
back.
going to
Yeah, that's
put it
actually
an inch
pretty
higher
good.
because it's like an inch down. From
That's
the
all I know. That's good, dude. That looks real good. Yeah, man. That looks real good, dude. Yeah, man. Cool, dude. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's good stuff, man. Yeah. That's me. I did it. Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff.
From Jersey?
Right now we're in Delco, but we're all from all over, man. We're the vagabonds of the world, the outliers, the ones that nobody accepts, man. We're the rejects. Most of us are recovering drug addicts. Spent a lot of my life in prison and jail cells, and I just coming up on 8 years without putting a needle in my arm. I'm pretty impressed with that shit right now. Yeah, well that had a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Had a whole lot to do with it.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, God had everything to do with it, man. So it's good shit though, man, you know. Choppy out there. You'd have to have good navigation and steady balance to move boats around. You really better know your shit if you're on the waters today. You'll get caught up and taken out to sea. This is bucks. Hello? 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 What's up here, Camilla? How you doing?
I wish.
Really?
Really?
I think you're old enough to hear it.
I think you can step your elders in that.
Chuck's coming too, that's why.
Yes, ma'am. What's up, Mandy? How you doing?
She works at every day.
Yeah. How you doing? I'm sorry I'm early. Yo, everything's closed. It was like a ghost town over there.
You didn't know that?
No, but we did have some fun.
Resort? Ow!
We did have some fun. We're going to go to AC tonight.
Well, then you'll find some action there.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to hit the hot tub rocket at nighttime.
Who, me? Who's a little crazy? Why do you want to take some action? But that's Chuck. Chuck's the newest tribe member. You could probably hear him off in the distance there.
I got DMG.
Here we go. Here it is. This is it. This is the dealie.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I got it one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
One at a time.
You can have a seat right here.
I'm perfect. What?
We gotta go, baby. I'm
One at a
off,
time.
dude.
One
Right
at
here for you. Have you ever
Oh.
No.
Not that bad.
No.
Have you ever had it done before?
Mm.
Old age and good health.
No, 140.
No. Very honest and good hearted. A caretaker for sure.
Yeah, see, John, I told you I'm not an asshole
No.
all the time.
Very honest, very independent. You like to do your own.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like you're supposed to be a head of a business, entrepreneur, corporation, something like that.
Oh, man.
Serial killer. Perfect.
Uh-oh.
It's a clothing line.
Okay.
We hope.
We hope, right?
So what do you look
Now,
for?
I also see a marriage. I do see one marriage and one
Oh,
marriage.
yeah, I married a prostitute, but I just divorced her.
Oh, good. That was a good thing to divorce her. And I also pick up on 2 kids for your future.
2? I already have 1.
Oh, well, then it's 1 more.
Oh, no.
And I wish you good luck.
Perfect.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will. You're gonna get one? You're smoking cigs in here? Are you crazy?
It's okay. I smoke too.
It's got an ashtray, bro.
I seen the
It's a
ashtray.
dead giveaway.
I shouldn't have assumed.
I don't think I have any change.
Bob, you get it done too.
Right.
Okay. Are you Bob?
Yeah.
I'm Nancy. Nice to meet you.
Does it matter which hand?
Which one you use for writing?
Oh, I gave you my right hand. I'm a lefty.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, you actually got more of the future than out of me. You owe me 20.
she just doubled down, bro.
Right? Now, I also pick up on the long life for you. Very old age and good health. Now, you're a thinker. You're a worrier. You stretch yourself out at times. You overanalyze. But I do feel like there's a lot of good opportunity for you when it comes to work. I feel like you have a lot of direction. I see that this year is supposed to be your year to be driving woodwork and business. So look forward to that. Money comes and goes, but I do see a large amount coming in. Are you waiting on it?
Yeah.
Well, it should be here soon. And it also shows some traveling for fun, even overseas. You thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of getting my passport.
That makes sense. Well, it should be fun for you. Now, I do see marriage. Have you been married? Well, at least one for your future. And I wish you luck.
It's gonna be the John.
Uh-oh. Hey, no judgment here.
So what do you got? Like you got like a shrinking monkey head?
No, I wish I did.
You gonna cast spells?
That'd be cool, though.
You gonna do a spell?
You want to try yours?
You gonna cast a spell?
Okay.
He does the cards and all that.
Well, we'll switch for you.
So I did his cards today.
You can sit on the end too, though. You still have a seat.
I did a body, mind, soul reading for her today with the cards.
Yeah, that's maybe why I wanted to come today. Like, yo, I want to go to the psych.
Which one you want me to do for you? You want me to do the full life for 20 or the one for 10?
Just the one.
Okay.
I'll wait till you're done.
What is your name?
John, St. John.
Nancy. Nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you.
I definitely see the long life for sure. Very old age and good health ahead.
Okay.
Now, a little crack and interruption there, meaning that there is some that you came close to even having a major health issue or being
Oh
hospitalized.
my God, he's even got a black cat, bro.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I love cats.
Was there ever like a life-threatening situation at one point?
Well, there's things I've neglected.
Lucifer,
Yeah.
come on.
Okay, well that could be why.
Oh
But
my
I don't
God,
see
answer
it
to
being
Lucifer,
too major
bro.
anymore. So that's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love you. Come
It's
here.
great because I changed my life around.
Oh my God.
Very strong, very motivated, now going in a good direction, much better.
No, don't leave
I do
me.
see that this year looks
Everyone
better
leaves
than
me,
the last
please.
3 years. I feel like the last 3 years you were being held back by a lot of negative energy,
Oh
a
my
lot of
God,
jealous
that's
people.
so crazy.
But I do feel like
it's been very difficult.
I
Yes,
feel like it's
ma'am.
been awakening for you this new year. So look forward to that continuing.
Yes, ma'am.
I do feel like your money's never an issue. You never focus on it. You always have it when you need it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I do see more coming, so that's always a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Look forward to a new position would work for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Yo,
You're welcome.
I called the cat. It didn't come. Then I called it.
That's funny.
Can you tell her the 3 cards I pulled for you? The
Are
body
we
card.
on live?
Yeah. The body card, the mind card, and
What was it? The Joker?
the Joker.
I don't know. I forget.
The
Joker,
Fool. The
Justin
Fool
Knowles.
was your body card.
Oh, Judgment was the last one.
Uh-oh.
Death was the second one.
No.
Right, death. And everything was upright.
Well, sometimes that actually can be
What was
negative.
it?
They're all good.
Yeah.
For him in his life, we all know where he's at, and it was just like right
That
on.
is not always like a bad card.
Yeah, I did a tarot card reading for humanity.
Okay.
You could look it up. It's under hashtag domestic tarotist.
Domestic terrorist?
Tarotist.
What was the first
Terrorist? Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am.
one? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm St. John. It's nice to meet you.
Definitely.
This is cool. Thank you.
It was fun. It was
That
a
was
fun.
a lot of fun. Come on.
That's the first one.
Who's paying her? Did anybody pay her? You cheapskates.
I need an ATM, so you need $10.
Is that what it's costing me? $10?
Yeah.
It's the best $10 I spent all day.
Well, that's
Trust.
good. Plus tip.
Plus tip.
Yep.
Oh, here, I got you. You give me the $10.
Here, no, hold on, I got
And
it.
then you give me 10, I'll give you 20, then you give me 30.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Whenever you guys
It's only paper. It comes and goes.
comes
We're
and
not
goes.
worried about
He never
that.
worries about
We'll
it.
just go get more.
Exactly.
Thank you, man.
Keep on moving.
That's the name of the game.
Bye, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Enjoy your night.
All right, so you satisfied? No, of course not. He has not fed his spiritual hunger yet.
Yeah. Now,
Where's another one?
I guess we have to do this woodworking table
Puff
now.
Bar Plus, yo. They got, no, I can't. I spent $100 on vapes yesterday.
No, they're an ATM.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You should probably do that. All right, that's it. It's over. Let's get out of here. These are the ones I hit on at Harris.
I don't gamble, bro.
At Harris, I hit on these ones.
I came here because I can be as loud as
These
I want.
ones. These are the ones. These are the ones.
What do we get, man? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll just so you yell at somebody and I'm like, man, the man's yelling at a chair. Next thing you know, and then there's me. Well, I was all the way over there. You had me come over here. The man's yelling at a chair. I'm like, well, make sure that I'm doing this. And you kind of show what yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm from Philly. That's what it is. I apologize now.
It's all your fault, Chuck.
He said I was yelling at a chair. I wasn't yelling at a chair. I was yelling at a mess. Get right.
3 of a kind, huh? Nice. Nice, Bobby. Nice. And you're not gambling. You're the only smart one. The rest of us are retarded.
Yeah, smart one.
Glutton for punishment here.
I gave someone $100 in. What the fuck?
3 of a kind, bro. I just hit for 3 of a kind. That was good. You got a flush? Nice, Bob. Nice. All right. Wow. Cool. That's $8. Wow, dude. Cannoli bomb. Bomb diggity. The cannoli bomb diggity. No, that is so good. I can't even describe it. I can't even describe it, man. It's so good.
You gotta have that coming out from the outside.
Bring him around the roof. Bring him around the roof. Come on, bring him around the roof. Bring him around the roof. Should we make them witness it now, dude? Is this the time? It's coming out again, Bobby. It's coming out again, bro. It's coming out again, bro. Why?
I don't think you want to do that, dude.
What? Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? I'm sure somebody will let me know. They were all over Chuck with his loud and obnoxious ass. That dude was cool as shit, though. That was fun. Yo, that was all on TikTok Live, by the way. Yeah. It's great. That means I permanently got it recorded somewhere. I'll be able to watch it. Here's our number, Bobby. No bets. Yeah. Bobby, as you're sitting in that heated pool, tell them how we do it, Bob. Keep pushing no matter what. Okay. All things just a little bit. That ain't too bad.
Storm started.
2013. And he predicts the coronavirus.
Different.
By the time they tried to evacuate the cities, it was already too late. The infection was everywhere.
The virus is harvesting. What do you mean 8, 7, and 3 began life in the lab of the first war with vaccines? Millions died in the first week of the pandemic dreams. We are the deep black death, smallpox, mutated disease. Flu shot propaganda for all population and troops. Avoid the plague, it might have steeped into the room. It's now we're born with firestorms signal our doom. The dead returns with the pissed off zombie moves. The sprinkler system equipped with AUAG, where they round up survivors in a cold facility. Watch the process of terror from the hill to the stream. I remain in the gas mask, I still filter my water clean. This isn't past tense, or the plague of Athens couldn't be eradicated like smallpox in action. Avian influenza where the jet stream is how it happens. 2020 combined with coronavirus, body stacking.
The world is now at the start of the influenza pandemic.
It started as writing. It was in the street outside. It was coming through your windows.
Sequence the virus and determine its origin.
It was a virus. It was something in the blood.
A virus which has been engineered at a genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful.
You believe it's morning.